And a good afternoon to you from the DeWitt Gym on the campus of Dordt University in Sioux Center, Iowa. Feels like we just wrapped one up, and we did last night, a doubleheader with the Hastings College Broncos. And today it is Dordt taking on the Jamestown Jimmies in a matchup of teams vying for the top of the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Jamestown suffering a tough loss last night to Northwestern, ended up being a sizable margin, 20-plus points. And the Dordt defenders victorious over the Hastings Broncos last night to stay unbeaten in Great Plains Athletic Conference play. We'll take a closer look at the standings as our pregame show progresses. And then in the men's contest, it'll be a matchup of teams as well that are we assumed they would be towards the top of the conference, and thus far through 7 and 8 games, they are. Dordt 6-2 in the league, Jamestown 4-3. They had a tough one last night. They were up double digits at halftime, were the Jamestown Jimmies, and ended up losing on the road to Northwestern in men's play yesterday. We'll have a look at that when we get set up for the men's contest. Let's begin, though, with the women's game, as the Dordt defenders stayed undefeated with their win last night and looking to continue that string, and what a string it has been. The Dordt defenders 15-0 to start this season, the best start in program history and the best start in school history for any basketball program. The Defender women 15-0, 9-0 in the league, rated number 5 of the nation. Wins this season in order over Presentation, Dakota State, Bellevue, Trinity Christian, Dickinson State, Morningside, Concordia, Briarcliff. That was a 6-point margin back on November 22. They then defeated the College of St. Mary, Midland, Northwestern by 10, Dakota Wesleyan by 10, and then got going with their post-Christmas schedule back 1 week ago today, defeating Mount Marty 85-53, dropped Grandview 74-49 on Monday of this week, and then beat Hastings last night 79-59 in a game that quite honestly was not that close. The Dordt defenders are averaging 81 points per game, giving up 59 points per outing. They are shooting 50% from the floor, allowing teams to make 38%. Dordt is tickling the twine from long range for 41% on three-pointers, and defensively they are allowing teams to make 24% of their three-point tries. Rebounding per game, as we take a look at things on the Wireless World pregame show, the defenders are out rebounding teams 39-31, and they are forcing 17 turnovers per game and allowing 14 turnovers per contest. For the Jamestown Jimmies, 12-3 overall, 7-2 in the league. And they started the year with back-to-back wins over Mayville State in Presentation, then lost to Mayville State by 18, 74-56. Then ran off 4 wins in a row over the College of St. Mary, Dakota Wesleyan, Midland, and Concordia. Lost to Hastings 63-62, and then ran off wins over Doane, Valley City State, Mount Marty, Dickinson State, Valley City State, and Morningside. Last night they lost to Northwestern 72-51. The Jimmies under Coach Thad Sankey are scoring 71 points per game. They allow 57. They shoot 42% from the floor. They defend for 37% success. Three-point shooting, they're making 35% of those shots while allowing teams to make 26. They out-rebound teams 39-33, and turnovers just about even. They give up 15 possessions per game, and they get 15 free possessions per contest. That's a quick overview of the teams, Dordt and Jamestown. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with a rundown of the individuals you need to watch for. Right after this, you're listening to the Wireless World pregame show on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. You're listening to KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Let's take a closer look at some of the players that you'll be hearing about as this afternoon progresses. First of all, for the defenders, they're led by Bailey Beckman and Carly Gustafson, a pair of seniors averaging 17.1 and 16.8 points per game. Gustafson also taking in 7 rebounds per contest and converting 66% of her field goals. Janie Schoenhoven is averaging 11.5 points per game with 7.9 rebounds per contest. Macy Sievers is at 8.5 points per game. Hayden Hymanson 7. Faith Van Holland is at 6.1. McKenna Klecker and Macy Nielsen average 4.0 and 4.3 points per game. Last night's game for the Dordt defenders, victorious over Hastings, 79-59. Dordt was up 22-14 after one quarter and 43-29 at the half, stretched the lead to plus 20 in the fourth quarter, and then it was the reserves getting an opportunity to play, and the Dordt defenders win by the 20-point margin. Balanced scoring, the story for Dordt last night. Carly Gustafson and Janie Schoenhoven, 13 points each. Hayden Hymanson added 12. And Dordt got 11 points each from Bailey Beckman and Faith Van Holland. For the Jamestown Jimmies, players that we'll be watching for, Hannah DeMars is averaging 18.2 points per game. She also has 9.2 rebounds and has converted 27 three-point shots. Kaya Towers at 13.3 points per game. Audrey Radikowski is at 9.1 points per game. And Kate Cordes is at 6.9 points per contest. For Jamestown last night, in their loss to Northwestern, they trailed Northwestern 16-12 at the end of the first quarter, 32-25 at halftime, and got outscored 40-26 in the second half. In absorbing a 72-51 loss last night. Tower had 19. Audrey Radikowski scored 8. Cordes had 7. Dordt leads this series 8-2 since 2018. The defenders will travel to face Doane this Wednesday in Crete, Nebraska in their next outing. The last meeting of these two teams was on February 23 in the GPAC quarters, where Dordt prevailed 71-60. They used a 21-11 third quarter advantage to build a double-digit lead. Bailey Beckman had 19, Carly Gustafson 15. Jamestown was led by DeMars with 19 points. Let's take another 2-minute break and be back with the starting lineups right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
And brought to you by Furniture Mart. Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, window treatments at your local Furniture Mart, family owned and located downtown Sioux Center.
Family, farm, business, community. People's Bank, where values matter.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today. Serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
To Dordt basketball on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Here are your probable starting lineups for today's contest. Let's take a look at those now, and they are in the books. So these should be your official starting lineups First of all, for the Jamestown Jimmies, they will start number 1, Kia Tower, a 5'6" senior from Big Fork, North Dakota, averaging 13.3 points per game. Hannah DeMars is number 2. She's a 5'11" senior from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, averaging 18.2 points per game. Number 12 is Kate Busick, a 5'9" sophomore from Fargo, North Dakota, averaging 5 points per game. Jalen Martinez is a 5'9" sophomore from Devils Lake, North Dakota, averaging 3.8 points per game. And number 24 is Audrey Radakowski, a 6-foot junior from Dickinson, North Dakota, averaging 9.1 points per game. For the Dordt defenders, they will go with Hayden Hymanson, a 5'8" sophomore from Rock Rapids, averaging 7 points per game. Bailey Beckman is a 5'5" senior from Panora, Iowa, averaging 17.1 points per game. Carly Gustafson is a 5'11" senior from Ethan, South Dakota, averaging 16.8 points per game. Faith Van Holland is a 5'8" junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, averaging 6.1 points per game. She wears number 32. And number 35 is Janie Schoenhoven, a 5'10" sophomore from Hospers, Iowa, averaging 11.5 points per game. Off of the bench, Macy Nielsen, Macy Sievers, Eliana Caparis, and McKenna Klecker will be in the regular rotation for the defenders. And for the Jamestown Jimmies, Kate Cordes, Sarah Lenz, Megan Oswald, and Hannah Hagel are in the rotation for the Jamestown Jimmies, and Thad Sankey. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the opening tip of today's contest from the DeWitt Gym right after this 2-minute timeout.
Here we live between big city and small town, but we don't do anything halfway. We play in a community that's safe for families while providing our kids big city opportunities. We work in a place proud of its rural history that's already writing its future in science and technology. This is a place where we love our neighbors and where a small town is more like a big family. Sioux Center, live life in the middle of everything.
Hi, I'm Brian Van Haften, head coach of the men's basketball team at Dordt University. Thank you for watching the Dordt Media Network, produced by the students on campus at Dordt University. Go Defenders.
At Premier Communications, we're all about connection. Connecting you to all the entertainment, work, and family you love with our phone, internet, cable TV, and tech support services. And now, that connection has gotten even faster with internet speeds up to 1 gig. Experience the next level of connection with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call toll-free 800-741-8351. Premier Communications, looking ahead.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gym on the campus of Dordt University in Sioux Center, Iowa. We are at the DeWitt Gym getting set for today's contest. A battle for the Dordt defenders with the Jamestown Jimmies. Jimmies making the trip down south to Sioux County, facing Northwestern last night and facing Dordt today. And then they'll take the 400-mile road trip back up north, head to Fargo, turn left, and go another 100 miles or so. And there you have Jamestown, North Dakota. But in the meantime, the Dordt defenders 9-0 in the conference, 15-0 overall, trying to run that winning streak to 16, and it will be a difficult challenge here this afternoon as the Jimmies come in with a very good 7-2 conference mark and 12-3 overall record. Other games going on in the GPAC today. Doane is at Briarcliff. Dakota Wesleyan is at Concordia. I'm curious how that one shakes out. I keep waiting for Concordia to kind of wake up and get rolling. Morningside is at Midland, and Hastings is at Northwestern. I'm curious to see how Northwestern fares with the Hastings Broncos after their win last night over the Jimmies. and how Hastings is able to bounce back today. And Mount Marty is at the College of St. Mary. That is a matchup of teams both with one win in the league, so one of them is going to come away with their second win in league play this afternoon in a game being played at the Lead Center in Omaha, Nebraska. The Dordt defenders in their white jerseys, yellow numbers trimmed in black, yellow letters as well. The Jimmies in their bright orange uniforms, black numbers and letters trimmed out in white. Opening tap controlled by the Jimmies, and Jalen Martinson gives it up. She goes left side. This is Kaya Tower. Tower with the basketball. Tower on the left side being hedged by Hymanson. Tower driving down to the baseline, looking for a reverse, and she steps on the baseline out of bounds. It'll be Dordt basketball. Chad Gordon, Nathan Beeler, and Kevin Schultz on the whistles today. That's at least who was scheduled to be here this morning when I checked the website. With the basketball on the left-hand side, this is Hymanson. Hymanson drops it inside for Gustafson. Gustafson goes to work, puts it up, shot no good. There for the rebound, though, is Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven back outside Gustafson, shows it down to the baseline, reverses over to Hymanson. Hymanson drives, puts it up off the glass, no good. Tries for her own rebound, and the ball is deflected out. Last touch by Jamestown. It'll be Dordt basketball as Hannah DeMars got a leg on it before it went out of play. So Dordt inbounding right side of the lane as we face the hoop. Hymanson will trigger it in. Gets it into Beckman. Beckman with the basketball. Dordt with 20 to shoot. Gives it up to Gustafson on the right elbow. Gustafson goes into the lane with the left hand. Puts it up. Shot is good. That's something new. Carly Gustafson kissing it off of the glass. Moving from her right to her left with the dribble. And she gets the shot to go. Jamestown basketball. With it is Martinson. Martinson with it. They dump it down low. Gustafson trying to hold her ground. Shot in the paint is up and good for Rodakowski. Rodakowski averaging 9.1 points per game. She ties it at 2 with a made field goal in the lane. Hymanson with the basketball on the right elbow. Gives it up Schoenhoven. 17-footer straight on. Missed it. No good. And the rebound is cleared by Jamestown. Jimmies have the basketball. Bringing it up is Tower. Tower with it on the left-hand side. Gets a ball screen into the lane. Shot is up off the heel. No good. Rebound cleared by Rodakowski. Back outside Tower. Tower gives it up to Busick. Busick with the basketball. They roll it inside for DeMars. DeMars against Van Holland. DeMars gets it back outside. Rolling into the lane is Martinson. Martinson shot no good. Rebound controlled by Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven with the basketball. Hymanson. Hymanson ahead to Van Holland. Van Holland lost it on the way up. That'll be a turnover. Back to the Jimmies. Jamestown basketball. DeMars. DeMars with it on the right-hand side. DeMars working against Van Holland with the pass on the right side. Martinson. Martinson gives it up out front to Tower. Throw it down low for Rodakowski. Rodakowski loses it on the way up. Has the Dordt defenders. Someone got a hand on it on the help defense. Here comes Hymanson over the top for Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven, nothing there. Back out front, Van Holland. Van Holland to Hymanson. Man-to-man defense applied here by Jamestown. Hymanson guarded by Tower. Throws it for Gustafson. Gustafson in traffic. Shot no good. Fight for the basketball and a jump ball. Alternating possession. It will be Dordt basketball. 2-2 our score, just about 2.5 minutes into the contest. Dordt will inbound right side of the lane as we face the hoop. Pretty good defense so far by the Jimmies. Ball inbounded to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven on the baseline, comes back to Gustafson. Gustafson fakes, puts it up. Short shot in the lane, missed it, no good. Everything but the finish that time for Gustafson, and here come the Jimmies. Busick with it. Busick gives it up in the lane, and Jalen Martinson with the two-point basket, and the Jimmies take the lead at 4-2. 4-2 our score. Hymanson right side, Van Holland. Van Holland, Gustafson. Gustafson to Van Holland. Van Holland, a little runner from 10 off the heel, no good, and the Dordt defenders not good from the field so far. 4-2 our score. Defenders with one field goal to their credit. A three-pointer, no good. Rebound ripped down by Schoenhoven off of the miss by Tower from the right wing. Here comes Dordt in transition, trailing 4-2. Hymanson looks to give it up. It's knocked away by Jamestown. Hymanson with the basketball comes back to Van Holland. Van Holland looking down low for Gustafson, 16 to shoot. Van Holland back to Carly. Carly, 17-footer short, no good, left wing. And the rebound is cleared by Jamestown. Jimmy's with the basketball. Up the floor, DeMars. DeMars fading away from 5, missed it, no good. And the rebound is cleared by Van Holland. She can get it ahead to Beckman. She does. Layup by Beckman is good. Bailey Beckman with a 2-point bucket off the breakout. Very few times you see an open layup, and the Dordt defenders get one there to tie it 4-4. Just about 4 minutes gone in this one already. I'm not sure we've had more than 1 or 2 whistles. Into the lane, Rodakowski shot no good, but a foul on the play. Some may have thought she traveled with it before she put the ball on the deck. Got the benefit of that opportunity, though, and she gets fouled on the play. Carly Gustafson whistled for her first personal foul. 6:01 remaining. First quarter of play. And we've got 5 players on the floor for Jamestown right now. And now do we have another sub checking in? Hannah Hoggle will stay at the scorer's bench. Hoggle checked into the game and then checked back out. Guess she's going in for the shooter, Rodakowski. First free throw on the way for Rodakowski is good. Another one on the way for Rodakowski. She's got 3 points so far. Jamestown leads 5-4. Dordt with Sievers, Klecker, shot no good. Rebound taken away by Gustafson. And also checking in for the defenders, Nielsen. So Nielsen's in the right corner. Dordt trails 5-4. Nielsen gives it up. Gustafson on the left elbow. Gustafson has gotten some good shots here in the early going. Just hasn't been able to get them to go. Sievers gives it back over to Klecker. Klecker to Gustafson. Shows it. Drives into the lane. Fakes. Player up in the air. That's Audrey Rodakowski. She went for the fake, and Gustafson finishes with the right hand. Dordt leads 6-5. 6-5 our score. Tower with it out front. Tower working against Sievers. Had a ball screen. Loose basketball now. Drives in, scoops it up, and gets it to go off of the glass. Tower with a 2-point bucket. Dordt leads, trails 7-6. Sievers with the basketball. Sievers gives it to Gustafson. Back to Sievers. Macy picks up her dribble. Comes back left side. Macy Nielsen. Nielsen with the basketball. Nielsen at the free throw line. Nothing there. Back over to Gustafson. Gustafson 13 to shoot. Gives to Van Hollen. Van Hollen short jumper in the lane is good. Faith Van Hollen with a 2-point bucket. Dordt leads 8-7. Back the other way we come. Jamestown basketball 8-7. Dordt with a lead midway through the first quarter. Throw it inside for Rodakowski. Rodakowski trying to feed it inside to the cutter, DeMars, and it's off of DeMars' foot and out of bounds. And the right play call. It was open if that bounce pass is up in the pocket rather than down at the shins. 4:42 left to play in the first quarter. Dordt with the basketball and a 1-point lead. And bringing it up is Macy Sievers. Sievers with the basketball. Schoenhoven in for Gustafson now. Beckman also back into the ball game. Pass goes left side, Klecker. Klecker sets, fires 3. Good. McKenna Klecker with the 3-pointer from the left wing. And the Dordt lead is 11-7. First 4-point lead of the ball game for the defenders. Biggest lead by either team. With the basketball is Lenz. Lenz passes it out. Ball screen, pick and roll, and a shot off of the glass for Hannah Hoggle. Hoggle with the 2-point bucket. A sophomore from Carrington, North Dakota, cuts the lead in half to 11-9. Schoenhoven shows it, puts it on the deck one time. Now passes back over to Sievers. Sievers reverses Nielsen. Nielsen with the basketball at the free throw line. Nothing there. Schoenhoven, mid-range jumper, good. Jeannie Schoenhoven with a 2-point bucket. She is the 5th different Dordt player to score already. And Dordt leads 13-9. Jamestown basketball. With the basketball, right-hand side is Lenz. Lenz to Tower. Tower with the basketball. Tower to DeMars. DeMars working against Klecker. Fading away, shot no good, and the rebound is cleared by the defender. Schoenhoven had Hoggle tied up, so Nielsen was able to get in for the rebound off of the bounce. Sievers into the lane, double teamed, it's knocked loose. Now it's down on the floor, and the Dordt defenders calling for a timeout. Didn't get one, so a jump ball called, alternating possession. It'll be Jamestown basketball. Well, if you want to know what Dordt hopes Macy Sievers looks like by the time she is a senior, it would be Kaya Tower. The two are almost identical type players. Tower may be a little more confident on the 3-point shooting at this point in her career, but they're both very similar. Quick guards, create for their teammates very well. Tower with the basketball, guarded by Sievers. Pass goes to Hoggle. Hoggle guarded there by Schoenhoven. Backdoor cut, and Tower got free but missed it. Rebound taken away by Sievers. So Tower would love to have that one back, wouldn't we all? Dordt Dordt with it, driving in. Sievers cut off by Hoggle, and she's fouled on the play by Tower. So Kaya Tower, a little too handsy, gets whistled for the personal foul. That's foul number 1 on her. Team foul number 1 against the Jimmies as well. And with 2:50 left to go in the first quarter, neither team in danger of getting into the bonus. Here's Schoenhoven, gives it up Beckman. Beckman, free throw line jumper, good. Bailey Beckman with a 2-point bucket. She's got 4, and the defender lead is 15-9. 15-9 the score, left-hand pass. Over to Cordes. Cordes with the basketball. Cordes, short jumper, missed it, no good. Rebound Nielsen. Dordt on the run. They don't have the numbers. Sievers with it. Gives it up right side Nielsen. Nielsen back over to Sievers. Sievers with it. Crossing over with the right hand. Spins. They force her to give it up. Schoenhoven has to track it down. Gets it over to Beckman. Beckman triple. Hangs on the rim. Won't go through. And the rebound is tapped out of bounds by McKenna Klecker. It will be Jamestown basketball. Thought Schoenhoven might have a chance at a layup, but the pass a little too hot to handle and a little too far out in front of her. And the Jimmies get the ball back after Dordt's unable to secure the rebound on the missed 3 by Bailey Beckman. Driving in Cordes. Cordes scoops it up with the right hand, good. Kate Cordes with a 2-point bucket. Dordt leads 15-11. Sievers up the floor. Sievers with it on the right wing. Throws it over the top, finds Klecker. Klecker with a 3 to her credit already. Schoenhoven underneath on the cut to Sievers. Sievers spins into the lane. Puts it up with the right hand, missed it, no good, but she is knocked to the ground, and that's going to go against Tower. Tower's going to get whistled for a personal foul, and she's going to pick up her second. She gets called for a foul on the rebound, and from my vantage point, probably got that call right, simply because Sievers was going straight up, and Tower moved into her while she was trying to get the rebound, and goes out of bounds. Now, sometimes you'll just simply see ball out of bounds, give it to the defenders, and no harm, no foul. That time they do whistle a foul, and that's a key one against Tower. That's her second. Dordt with the basketball. They get it into Gustafson. Gustafson with it over her head. Drives into the lane. Puts it up. Draws contact. Shot is good. Carly Gustafson with 6 first quarter points. Dordt leads 17-11. Back the other way, Lenz. Lenz shot no good. Rebound deflected. Picked up by Hymanson. Dordt on the run. Had Caparis open momentarily, but didn't see her in time. Hymanson up the floor. Hymanson with the basketball from the left elbow. Back to Gustafson. Gustafson, 17-footer, missed it, no good. And the rebound is controlled by DeMars. DeMars will now run point for the Jimmies. DeMars, a 5'11 senior from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Shot is up, blocked partially. Rebound taken away by Caparis. Here come the defenders with a chance to build on the 6-point lead. Hymanson with the basketball. Back over to Beckman. Beckman with it out front. Beckman stops, pops. 8-footer, too strong, no good. And Jamestown has it trickle off of their hands and out of bounds. It'll be Dordt basketball. So Dordt with a 6-point lead, under a minute to go in the first quarter. Faith Van Holland will inbound the basketball. Now I think the question is, did the ball hit the rim on the shot? Right now the shot clock is at 20 seconds. To me, that would indicate that they thought it hit the rim, and they reset it to 20 on the offensive possession. Dordt with the basketball now. Gustafson back to Beckman. Beckman with it down to the baseline, cut off. Back to Carly. Carly splits the defense. Now back over to Bailey. Bailey pull-up jumper. 14-footer, missed it, no good. Rebound cleared by Van Hollen. Van Hollen throws it right side Beckman. Beckman inside to Gustafson. Reverses. Left side Hymanson. 3 on the way. Bang, bang, bang. Hymanson with the triple. Her first today, and the Dordt defenders own a 9-point lead, 20-11. 23 seconds left to go, first quarter. So Dordt looking for a defensive stop here. Shot clock is off. Cordes out front, throws to DeMars. DeMars on the elbow, guarded by Van Holland. DeMars puts it up over the top of Van Holland. Tough shot. I'm not sure Van Holland could have defended it any better, and DeMars gets her first basket, fading away from just inside the free throw lane. Van Holland will fire up a 3, missed it, no good at the horn, and the Dordt lead is 20-13. We've played 10 minutes of basketball. Let's take a 1-minute break. We'll be back with the second quarter from the DeWitt. You're listening to Dordt Basketball on KIHK and watching the Dordt Media Network.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
20-13, Dordt with the basketball as we start the second quarter of play. So the defenders by 7. Jamestown's going to have to play for, they've elected, at least for the time being, to play without Kaya Tower. Tower on the bench with 2 personal fouls. So Dordt will inbound the basketball. Faith Van Hollen to throw it in. Dordt has no one in foul trouble. In fact, the only foul called was against Carly Gustafson. Right side pass, Gustafson. Gustafson with it. Gustafson into the lane, has it stripped away. Ball's down on the floor, and a travel called against the Jimmies as Lenz had it on the floor and then rolled over. So Dordt will get the basketball back, and it should be a change of possession. If it's a travel violation, it should be a reset to 30. I don't think this one should take too long, and it doesn't. Kevin Schultz comes over. He's thinking the same as I am today. Can't travel if you don't have possession, so the change of possession, Dordt gets it back. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Hymanson with the basketball. Hymanson back out front to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven high post, Gustafson. Gustafson shows it. Back outside to Hymanson. Hymanson, Beckman, 15 to shoot. Beckman hesitates, drives in, head and shoulders fake. Shot is up off of the side of the backboard, no good. And the rebound is taken away by DeMars. DeMars driving in. DeMars fires it back to the perimeter to Cordes. Cordes underneath, and Cordes' shot is good. Count the hoop. And Carly Gustafson has just picked up her second personal foul. So Audrey Rodakowski will go to the free throw line for a 3-point play opportunity. 9:18 left to play in the first half. Dordt leading 20-15 pending a free throw. So Gustafson will check out and Sievers will check in. So Dordt will go with a little different look in the lineup here. So Sievers will run point. You'll move Beckman and Hymanson off the ball. Van Hollen will play more of an undersized post along with Schoenhoven. The free throw is good. So Rodakowski with 6 points so far. Schoenhoven with the basketball. Comes back right side Beckman. Beckman with the basketball at the free throw line. Beckman gives it up Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven drives in, her shot no good. Rebound Van Holland, and a foul called on Van Holland. Van Holland whistled for the personal foul on the rebound. It's foul number 1 on Van Holland. Team foul number 2 against the defenders in this quarter. And now the Dordt defenders are going to have to battle. Jalen Martinson with the basketball. Martinson with it back out front to Cordes. Cordes driving in. Cordes shot no good. Rebound cleared by Hymanson. Hymanson with the basketball. Doesn't have the numbers. Hymanson all the way to the right block. Stops, and she is fouled from behind. Foul's going to go on Cordes. Kate Cordes whistled for the personal. That's foul number 1 on her. So Dordt's got a rally here. Jamestown a little bit of momentum going. They've scored 5 in a row, spanning the end of the first quarter into the second quarter here. Pass over the top, Van Hollen. Van Hollen with the basketball. Van Hollen to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven back it goes Sievers. Sievers 3, good. Macy Sievers with the 3-point basket ends the Dordt drought. Dordt leads 23-16. 23-16 our score. DeMars shows it, and Van Hollen's going to be called for a reach-in, and that's 2 on her. 2 fouls on Faith Van Hollen, so Dordt's got a little bit of foul trouble to work through. McKenna Klecker will check in. Van Hollen will check out. I would imagine the breaks for Gustafson and Van Hollen, the length will be dictated a little bit by how the next couple of minutes go. Left side pass with the basketball out front is Busick. Busick gives it up, and that's DeMars posting up, and Hannah DeMars with a 2-point bucket. Dordt leads 23-18. Schoenhoven with the basketball, left side Hymanson. Hymanson with it. Hymanson back to Beckman. Beckman looking down low. Instead comes back to Hymanson. Hymanson, Schoenhoven squares up. Shot in the lane, good. Jeannie Schoenhoven with 4. Dordt leads 25-18. Jamestown basketball. I think Dordt can score with this lineup. I'm just concerned, can they stop Jamestown? Cordes passes right side DeMars. Here's the matchup I'm watching. DeMars working against Klecker, and DeMars lost it. Picked up by the defenders in Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven with the basketball. Thad Sankey wants a foul. I don't blame him. Pass goes right side to Beckman. Beckman jump stop. Her shot no good. Gets her own rebound back off of the glass. Good. Bailey Beckman with 6. Dordt leads 27-18. matching their biggest lead of the ball game. Jamestown has had an answer each time Dordt has put together a little bit of a run. Rodakowski in the lane. Her shot hangs on the rim and falls through. Rodakowski is getting the benefit of a little bit of an early step, it appears, underneath before she puts the ball on the deck. Foul on the play called on Cordes. Cordes trying to fight through a screen. And Beckman will inbound the basketball on the far sideline. Nielsen and Caparis are in. Schoenhoven and Hymanson are out. Sievers, Beckman, and Klecker stay on the floor. Dordt's trying to do a little mix and match here to try and get through some minor foul trouble here early on, if there is such a thing as minor foul trouble. You've got Gustafson with 2 and Van Holland with 2. Nielsen on the right elbow, 10 to shoot. Right side it goes back to Klecker. Klecker with the basketball. Klecker gets a ball screen, back to Beckman. Beckman steps back, long triple on the way, missed it. Caparis racing for it. And the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Dordt. It'll be Jamestown basketball. So Jamestown with the basketball. And bringing the ball into the front court is Tower. So Jamestown brings Tower back. Turnover promptly back to the defenders, though. Here comes Sievers. Sievers, Beckman. Beckman sets, fires 3. Got it! Bailey Beckman took the step back, knocks down the 3. Dordt by 10, 30 to 20. Beckman with 9 points for the defenders. 3 twos and a 3. DeMars puts it on the floor against Klecker. DeMars with it. Dordt with 3 fouls, so they've got 1 to give before Jamestown gets into the bonus. Driving in is Tower. Tower with the short shot with the left hand. Dordt leads 30 to 22. 6:05 remaining first half. Left side Klecker. Klecker to Sievers. Sievers gets a ball screen, looking down low. Feeds Caparis. Caparis fires back outside to Nielsen. Nielsen on the baseline, and we're going to have a 3 seconds in the lane violation called against Caparis. And that one's the official elected to go letter of the law that time. Caparis had backed out near the free throw line, didn't quite make it out, and then came back in on the cut into the lane, and she gets whistled for the 3 seconds in the lane violation. With the basketball is Cordes. Cordes with it on the left wing. Cordes gives it up. DeMars. DeMars triple on the way. Missed it. No good. Rebound cleared by Sievers. Sievers with the basketball. 2 players hit the floor near midcourt. No call made. Sievers stops. Pops. 3 short. No good. Rebound controlled by DeMars. So DeMars will bring it up for Jamestown. Dordt leading 30 to 22. Cordes with it out front. Cordes goes to Tower. Tower gives it up on the elbow. Gets the return pass, does Tower. Tower 3, got the friendly bounce. Tower with 7. Dordt leads 30-25. Jamestown basketball. We approach the midpoint of the second quarter. Sievers setting things up. Almost looks like a zone here by the Jimmies. It isn't. They pick everyone up. Klecker 3, missed it too strong, no good. And the rebound controlled by Jamestown. Jamestown with the basketball, so Dordt had a 10-point lead moments ago. Cordes with it on the wing. Cordes back outside to Tower. Tower with it. Tower throws it into the corner. Cordes 3, good. Kate Cordes with 5 points, and the lead is 2, 30 to 28. With the basketball is Sievers, so Jamestown answering the Dordt run with a run of their own. Sievers with it out front. Dordt needs to stop the bleeding. Klecker throws inside for Caparis, and it's deflected out. Picked up by Jamestown. Jamestown with the basketball. Tower to DeMars. DeMars, and we've got a reach-in foul called on McKenna Klecker. Klecker whistled for the personal, her first, team's 4th. And the Dordt defenders want a timeout. Timeout on the floor, charged to the Dordt defenders. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
American State Bank is celebrating our 50th anniversary, and we couldn't have made it this far without your support. For us, banking just scratches the surface. We pride ourselves in our commitment to our communities, building meaningful relationships with our customers, and doing our best to have some fun along the way. We're proud to be a locally owned and operated bank, supporting the communities we serve. Thank you for choosing American State Bank. We can't wait to see what the next 50 years have in store.
was evidently some question as to who the foul was charged to. I didn't think there was any question. Klecker was guarding the ball handler. And they indicated that it was two hands on defensively on the ball handler. And finally, it appears I think we've got it right. McKenna Klecker gets whistled for the personal foul, not Eliana Caparis. They give it up to Cordes. Cordes goes right side back to Martinson. Martinson over the basketball. Right now, Jamestown on an 8-0 run, and it's going to be a 10-0 run. No, it's not. Now, foul called on the reach in underneath as Tower got her own rebound back. Thought she was going to get a layup, and then gets fouled on the play by Macy Sievers. So Macy Sievers whistled for the personal foul, and for Macy Sievers, that's number one. And Tower will go to the free throw line. She will shoot two, trying to tie it up. Jamestown on an 8-0 run right now. First free throw up and good. Another one on the way for Tower. She's got 8 first half points. A second free throw on the way. 3:55 left to play in the half. Trying to tie it here at 30, and she does. It's her first tie since it was 4-4. So Tower makes them both. She's got 9, and the defenders come back the other way. Sievers with it. Sievers to Hymanson. Hymanson over the basketball. Hymanson hesitates. Nothing there. Cut off. Throws it back out front for Nielsen. Nielsen drives in. Her floater, no good. Gets her own rebound back. Sievers. Right side Klecker. Klecker down to the baseline. Klecker fires it back over to Sievers. Sievers, Nielsen. Nielsen's shot is off. Rebound tapped out, and Hymanson gathers in the rebound, but a foul on the rebound called on the defenders. And McKenna Klecker. And McKenna Klecker has just picked up her second personal foul. So Dordt's been called for 7 fouls so far. Unfortunately, those have been spread out between just 4 players. 3 of them have 2, another has 1. Jamestown on a 10-0 run. Hannah DeMars shooting free throws. First one is good. Another one on the way. Dordt was up 30-20. And since then, Jamestown has outscored them 12-0. 32-30. DeMars with a couple of free throws. And the defenders with it out front, Sievers. Sievers with the basketball, goes left side to Hymanson. Hymanson, Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven spins into the lane. Schoenhoven off the glass, no good, and the rebound is cleared by Jamestown. Jamestown with it, DeMars. DeMars, layup, left hand, good. DeMars with 4, and the Dordt defenders playing without Carly Gustafson and electing to leave Gustafson on the bench with 2 personal fouls. And Jamestown has gone on a 14-0 run, and the defenders use a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
Dordt basketball trailing by 4. Jamestown on a 14-0 run. Dordt needs to recover. Sievers with it at the free throw line. Sievers drops it inside for Schoenhoven, and the ball is kicked out of bounds. Last touch by Jamestown. It'll be Dordt basketball. Jamestown converting 52% from the floor so far. Dordt 38%. That's a little out of the norm for the defenders. Right side pass, Sievers. Back over, Beckman 3, missed it, no good, and Jamestown gathers in the rebound, and Jamestown very good at limiting the defenders today to 1 shot, and that's it. Shot no good, rebound tipped out, and it's controlled by Martinson. Martinson with the basketball, misses it, rebound cleared by the defenders, and Sievers comes back the other way. Sievers, Hymanson 3 off the mark, no good. Dordt keeps casting up threes, and Got to get a little more in the flow of the offense here. Can get that jump shot almost any time. Cordes with the basketball out front, gets a screen, drops it off inside, and fire it back over to Tower. Tower puts it on the deck. Free throw line jumper, no good. But a foul on the play called on Macy Sievers, and that's 2 on Sievers. Jamestown has been the aggressor for the last 5 minutes, and that has resulted in Dordt getting into just a touch of foul trouble here. 4 players now with 2 fouls apiece for the defenders, 2 starters, 2 reserves. Sievers, though, more or less a 6th starter for the defenders, so she's one of them with 2 fouls, and the run has now reached 15. Tower makes the first free throw. She's got another one coming, and that one's up and good as well. A 16-0 run, and the defenders trail 36-30. 2:34 left to play. Comes back over to Schoenhoven at the free throw line. Now to Hymanson. Hymanson with the basketball. Hymanson left side Beckman. Beckman 3, too strong, no good. And the rebound is cleared by Jamestown. Jamestown up and running. Cordes. Cordes, high arching 3, missed it, no good. Rebound cleared by Jamestown, and the putback is good for the Jimmies and Megan Oswald. Oswald with the 2-point bucket. Dordt trailing 38-30, 2 minutes remaining in the half. Dordt trying to get to halftime now. Need a bucket to stop the bleeding. That wound pretty deep right now. 150 and counting in the half. Sievers throws it into the corner. Hymanson. Hymanson shot no good, but Hayden is fouled on the play. She'll go to the free throw line and try to get Dordt on the board. Right now, Dordt in the midst of an 18-0 run. Klecker will check into the ball game, and checking out will be Eliana Caparis. 1:44 left to go in the half. Dordt trailing 38-30. Still an opportunity to turn things around here at the end of the first half. If you can somehow limp into the locker room, trailing by 4 points, that'd be okay at this point. Missed shot, but the rebound cleared by Klecker. Hymanson with it out front. Hymanson left side McKenna. McKenna down to the baseline, gives it up Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven back to Hymanson. Hymanson 3, missed it, no good there for the rebound and the putback. Janie Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven with 6. Dordt trails 38-33. So a 3-point possession that time by the defenders. Jamestown basketball. Martinson with it, looking for Cordes. Gets it up front to Cordes to DeMars. DeMars working on, and we're going to have a foul called on Klecker instead of the travel. And McKenna Klecker has just picked up her 3rd personal. So Macy Nielsen will check into the game. Klecker will check out. And free throws on the way for DeMars. DeMars an 80% free throw shooter. Dordt trailing by 5, 38-33. 1:15 left to play. First half of action. DeMars' first free throw is good. DeMars coming off a game last night against Northwestern where she scored just 6 points, averaging 18 points per game. Today she has 9 and now 10. 40-33, defenders down 7. Still got a lot of basketball to play. Sievers with it out front. Sievers on the left-hand side. Throws it over the top for Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven off the glass, good. She's got 8. Dordt trails 40-35. Under a minute to go in the quarter. So let's see if the defenders can get a stop here. Stops have been hard to come by. DeMars with it out front. DeMars with it on the left-hand side at the free throw line. Hymanson picks her up. Pass comes back over to Busick. Busick, right side Martinson. Martinson spins it back to Cordes. Cordes drives in. Her layup is good. Cordes with the 2. She's got 7. Dordt trails by 7, 42-35. Shot clock and game clock, about a 3-second difference. 25 seconds on the game clock right now. Sievers setting the offense. Dordt would like to take the last shot of the half if they can. Sievers with the basketball, guarded by Cordes. Sievers, 8 to shoot. Sievers underneath. Fires it back out front. Nielsen, 3 ball, missed it, no good. Rebound. And the shot clock expires. The ball never hit the rim. So it'll be a shot clock violation, I believe, unless Jamestown secured the rebound. If Jamestown secured the rebound and then lost it, it's Dordt basketball back. 2.7 seconds remaining. And this is going to be a shot clock violation, I'm sure. Haven't gotten the indication yet from the official. We're going to put 3 seconds on the clock. Jamestown will inbound, length of the floor in front of them, leading 42-35 right now. And now we have further counsel as Kevin Schultz and Nathan Beeler talking things over. Chad Gordon wants to jump in on it. And they'll bring it back to 2.7 seconds. I don't know. DeMars throwing it in. DeMars throws towards midcourt, gives it up, Lenz. 1 second remaining, and the shot is after the horn, no good. And that's the end of the first half. Our score, Jamestown 42, Dordt 35. The defenders surrender at 1 point, an 18-0 run to go from up 30-20 to down 38-30. They trail 42-35 here at the half. Let's take a 2-minute break and be back with a recap of the first half of action right after this 2-minute timeout.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
At Premier Communications, we're all about connection, connecting you to all the entertainment, work, and family you love with our phone, internet, cable TV, and tech support services. And now, that connection has gotten even faster with internet speeds up to 1 gig. Experience the next level of connection with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call toll-free 800-741-8351. Premier Communications, looking ahead.
Hi, I am Bill Harmson, head women's basketball coach at Dordt University. Thank you for watching this Dordt Media Network broadcast produced by the students at Dordt. We appreciate your support. Go Defenders!
For the second half of our doubleheader, let's take a look at the team stats that we have up to the moment and go ahead and roll those highlights on the Dordt Media Network at the same time. Jamestown 15 of 30 from the floor, 50%, 2 for 6 on threes, 33%, and 10 of 11 on free throws. Dordt's Carly Gustafson has 6 points. She had an early field goal with the left hand, but it was Kate Cordes gave Jamestown a little lift off the bench. Dordt's outside shooting a little bit colder than normal, 4 of 15 thus far on three-pointers. Hayden Hymanson had a couple. Bailey Beckman knocked down a 3 as well. Those were 2 of Dordt's 4. But as I said, it was Kate Cordes getting things rolling for the Jimmies, and she helps them to a 7-point lead at halftime. Jamestown at 50% from the field for Dordt, 15 of 41 from the field, 37%, 4 for 15 on threes, 27%, 1 for 2 on free throws, 50%. Both teams have 21 rebounds. Dordt has 5 turnovers. Jamestown has 6. Let's take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back with a look at the individual numbers for the first half of this contest right after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to KIHK and watching the Dordt Media Network.
Hello, fans of Defender Sports. Hope you're enjoying the game, whether you're a friend or family member of a player or coach, or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. But going into each and every game, there's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has, and that's a game plan. If these players and coaches are willing to put this much time into planning for a game, how much more important is putting together a game plan for your financial life? Now, the financial world continually becomes more complicated, but if you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours upon hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules of the game in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, we've been helping households to build their financial game plan upon all the things more important than finances, while being good stewards of the resources God has entrusted to their care. Because there's things in life more important than money, and none of them are things. I'm Tom DeYoung, financial planner and president of Money Concepts, the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media. Check out our podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or your favorite podcast app, or schedule a complimentary meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money.
.42-35, we're at halftime. Here are the individual numbers. First of all, for the Jamestown Jimmies, led by Kaya Towers, 11 points. She was limited to 13 minutes due to 2 early fouls. Hannah DeBars, 10 points on 3 of 7 shooting. She also has 8 rebounds. 8 points for Audrey Rodakowski, 2 for Jalen Martinson, 7 for Kate Cordes off of the bench, 2 each for Megan Oswald and Hannah Hoggle. 2 assists for Kate Busick thus far. For the Jimmies, for the Defenders, Bailey Beckman with 9 points. 8 points for Janie Schoenhoven, 6 for Carly Gustafson. Gustafson limited to 8 minutes in the first half of play. She has 2 personal fouls. Faith Van Holland also limited to 9 minutes of play. She has 2 personal fouls and 2 points. Hayden Hymanson has 4 points. 3 points for Macy Sievers and 3 for McKenna Klecker for Dordt's total of 35. Janie Schoenhoven has 4 rebounds, 3 each for Macy Nielsen and Macy Sievers. Sievers also with 3 assists thus far. Carly Gustafson with 2 assists so far in this game. So we're at halftime. Dordt trailing 42-35. Still about 7 minutes away for the start of the second half. Let's take a 2-minute break and be back with a rundown of the scores from around the league here at halftime right after this 2-minute timeout. Halftime scores from around the league. We have Briarcliff leading Doane 49-22. Dakota Wesleyan a 29-26 lead over the Concordia Bulldogs. Morningside 39-25 leaders over Midland at halftime. It's Northwestern 26, Hastings 19 at half. And Mount Marty leads the College of St. Mary 37-30 at half. Here in Sioux Center, it's Jamestown leading Dordt 42-35. Coming up this week, the Dordt Defenders on the road to face the Doane Tigers. Wednesday night basketball from Creighton, Nebraska. You can hear it on KIHK. Beginning with the women's contest at 6. Men's will follow at approximately 7:45. 1 week from today, note this slight scheduling tweak, and it's been this way on our website for quite some time, and it's been on the schedule this way basically since the summer. We'll start our basketball games next week, Saturday, against Briarcliff at 4 in the afternoon rather than 2 o'clock. 4 o'clock start time for the women and a 6 o'clock start time for the men. We've got indoor track and field taking place that day in the rec center, so it will be a busy day at the rec center. It'll be a busy day on campus. Parking can be an issue with Saturday afternoon basketball games, and you throw in some indoor track as well beginning at 9 in the morning. We're just going to try to ease some of that stress both on the building, the parking, and support staff. And we'll get started with basketball 1 week from today at 4 in the afternoon rather than the customary 2 o'clock. Dordt students back in class coming up this Thursday, so hopefully they've enjoyed their Christmas break. And the basketball teams have been at it for a week. It's been a busy stretch for the basketball teams. This is their 4th doubleheader in 8 days, beginning with action last week at Mount Marty. Jamestown has made their way out of the locker room, warming up for the second half. Dordt hasn't made their way out yet. Coach Bill Harmson taking his time with the group today. Let's take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the second half right after this 2-minute timeout.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University and sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy. And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
Well, the defenders with some work to do, trailing by 7, 42-35. We're at halftime, just about set for the start of the second half. Again, key stats. Jamestown 15 of 30 from the floor. Dordt 15 of 41 for the defenders. Typically, they're in the 40s and up around 50% shooting from the floor for the season. So a little bit lower than normal, and rebounding dead even at 21 apiece. And the defenders, about 10 percentage points lower than their season average from the three-point line. Actually, well below that. They came into the game shooting 41% from the three-point line. They're at 27% right now. So it'll be Jamestown basketball to start the second half. And Jamestown will throw the ball in. Ball's inbounded to Katie Busick. Busick with it on the left wing. Busick throws it up front for Rodakowski. Rodakowski gives it up to DeMars. DeMars to Rodakowski. Rodakowski against Gustafson. Rodakowski stops. Nothing there. And we have a 3 seconds in the lane violation called against Rodakowski. So Rodakowski whistled for a 3 seconds violation. It'll be Dordt basketball. Bringing it up is Hymanson. Hymanson across the timeline. Hymanson gives it off to Beckman. Beckman with it at the top of the key. Beckman to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven, Gustafson. Gustafson underneath, puts it up and can't get it to go. Shot down on the floor, picked up by Schoenhoven. Round the horn they go. Right side Beckman. Beckman sets, fires three. Off the mark, no good. And the rebound goes out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt. It'll be Jamestown basketball. So Jamestown with the basketball. 9:18 left to go, third quarter. Jamestown 42-35, the lead and the basketball. Left side pass to Tower on the wing. Tower uses it up, passes back over to DeMars, guarded there by Van Holland. DeMars puts it on the deck, spins, puts up a 12-footer off the mark, no good. And the rebound is Hymanson, and we've got a reach-in foul called on Jamestown. I believe that's going to be on Martinson. Jalen Martinson whistled for the personal, her first, team foul number 1 in the half. It'll be Dordt basketball after the foul call. Hymanson will bring the ball up the floor. Hymanson with it on the right-hand side, uses up her dribble, now left wing with it. Now Gustafson looking down low for Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven throws it into the corner, left side Van Hollen. Van Hollen down to the baseline. Van Hollen back out front to Beckman. Beckman wheels into the lane, puts it up, draws contact, shot is good. 2-point basket for Beckman. She's got 11. Dordt trails by 5, 42-37. With it on the left wing. Tower against Hymanson. Tower still with the dribble. Right side DeMars. Those two make this team go. Martinson with the basketball. Martinson picks up her dribble. Looking for DeMars. DeMars against Van Hollen. Drives in and a foul called against Schoenhoven. Foul number 1 on Schoenhoven. Team foul number 1 against the defenders. And free throws on the way for the Jimmies and Hannah DeMars. DeMars, 10 points so far today. And her first free throw is good. She's an 80% free throw shooter, so she is now 5 for 5. And she's got a chance here to extend the lead back to 7. Second one is up and off the mark, no good. 5 for 6. I was just going to say, if you believe in the law of averages, she's due for a miss. With it right side, Hymanson. Hymanson with the basketball. Right side, Gustafson. Gustafson squares up her three. Missed, no good. Rebound tipped, and coming away with it is DeMars. DeMars with the basketball. DeMars gives it up Martinson. Martinson with the left hand, good. Jalen Martinson with a 2-point bucket, and Jamestown doing to Dordt what the defenders normally get done. Beat the players down the floor with a post. Gustafson in the lane. Her little left-handed hook shot is good. Carly Gustafson with 8. Dordt trails 45-39. 6-point advantage for the Jimmies. That's as close as Dordt has been here in the second half. Martinson puts it on the deck. Passes back left side to Tower. Tower with the basketball. Tower looking for someone to pass to. Hymanson holding her ground. And now a travel violation. No, they're going to call a timeout. Timeout charged to the Jimmies. Timeout charged to Jamestown. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Swart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family.
Yeah, she does travel with it.
And sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy.
Jamestown basketball as we resume play. They'll throw it in left side of the lane. They get it into Martinson. Martinson over the basketball. Martinson gives it up to Tower. Tower with the right hand missed it. Short, no good. Loose basketball picked up by Gustafson. Dordt on the run. Hymanson brings the ball into the front court. Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven throws it back over to Van Holland. Van Holland to Hymanson. Hymanson, Gustafson. Gustafson pushed out by Martinson. Comes back over to Beckman. Beckman pull up jumper in and out, no good. 12-footer. Rebound down on the floor, picked up by Jamestown. Jamestown, Busick. Busick up the floor to Tower. Tower with it on the left side. Tower lofts it down low for Rodakowski. Rodakowski with the left hand, and Rodakowski with a 2-point bucket. She's got 10. Back to an 8-point advantage, 47-39 for Jamestown. With the basketball, this is Hymanson. Throws it inside for Gustafson. Gustafson knocked to the floor, shot no good. And the rebound taken away by the Jimmies. Back the other way, Dordt. Dordt with it. Gustafson off the glass with a head fake, good. 10 points for Gustafson. Dordt trails by 6, 47-41. With the basketball, left-hand side, Tower. Tower backing out. Now Hymanson on the defense. Right back it goes to DeMars. DeMars, 10-footer in the lane, good. Hannah DeMars with a 2-point bucket. She's got 13, and the defenders trail 49-41. Dordt can't get stops consistently so far this afternoon. With the basketball, this is Hymanson. Hymanson, high post, Gustafson. Gustafson against Martinson. Gives it up, Beckman. Beckman hit on the shot, and the foul is going to go on Tower. That's number 3 on Tower. Beckman will go to the free throw line. She'll shoot 2. Today's broadcast brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. Visit them at wirelessworld.com. Looks like they will leave Tower in for the time being. We've got 15:39 left to go in the half. Free throw on the way for Beckman is up, rattles it, no good. Another one on the way for the 78% free throw shooter. Well, Dordt's going to have to find a way to battle through a day where they're not sharp on offense. Second free throw is up and good. So Beckman makes 1 of 2. And to do that, typically you got to get defensive stops. So far, the defenders struggling to do that consistently this afternoon. Jamestown with the basketball. Their strength is in their guard court. With the basketball, Tower. Tower passes right side. They get it to Lenz. Lenz to Tower. Tower guarded there by Sievers. Goes to DeMars. DeMars with the basketball. DeMars gets the return pass. DeMars, and we've got a 3 seconds in the lane violation called on Rodakowski. It'll be Dordt basketball back on the turnover. Dordt's been down by as many as 8. They've been as close as 5 since then, but they've not been able to dent it any further. Right now down 7, 49-42. With the basketball left side, Gustafson. Gustafson with it on the wing. Gustafson in the lane. Drops it off for Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven blocked on the play by Rodakowski, and here comes Jamestown. DeMars up and running. DeMars stopping. Lowers her shoulder. Now throws it back outside for Tower. Rodakowski to DeMars. DeMars against Schoenhoven. DeMars, 3, missed it, no good. And the rebound is cleared by Gustafson. Gustafson to Sievers. Sievers with the basketball. Sievers throws it into the corner. Klecker, 3. Count the hoop, and we have a foul called on the screen set by Nielsen. So Dordt will have the basketball. Klecker took the shot as the foul was occurring off the ball. So Sarah Lenz ran through the screen, and that's foul number 1 on her. Dordt will have the basketball. So you count the 3. 49-45. Klecker hits the 3. That's her second of the day. She's got 6. And the defenders trail by 4, 49-45. Van Holland, 17-footer, rolls it in. Faith Van Holland with a 2-point bucket. She's got 4, and the defenders a 5-point possession that time. 49-47. Dordt trailing. Lenz with the basketball. Lenz back out front. It goes to Cordes. Cordes to DeMars. DeMars puts it up short. No good. Rebound tapped out of bounds by Gustafson. It'll be Jamestown basketball. Jamestown inbounding the basketball. Right side of the lane as we face the hoop. Now it's an odd play. You see one of those every couple of years, basically, where you end up with a multi-basket possession in effect. With the basketball is Tower working against Sievers. Tower picks up her dribble, 10 to shoot. Now Cordes. Cordes driving in. Cordes cut off. The ball's down on the floor, picked up by Gustafson. Here come the defenders. Sievers with the basketball. Sievers up the floor, has Nielsen. Nielsen, three ball, short, no good. Rebound, though, taken away by Sievers. Sievers ties it at 49. Macy Sievers with 5. And the defenders have tied it up 49 to 49, and the defenders showing some signs of life. 3:30 left to go here in the third period. Tie game, timeout, Jamestown. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And today's broadcast sponsored by Ployne Publishing. Quality printing from design to delivery.
Well, the defenders on an 8-0 run, benefiting from a 5-point possession where there was a foul that occurred off the ball on a 3-point basket. Dordt maintained possession of it. Basically, that's a turnover. And right back to the defenders. Dordt scored on the ensuing play, gave them a little jolt. Now they tie it at 49 all. Jamestown with the basketball. Cordes puts it on the floor at the free throw line. Cordes gives it up back to Busick. Busick cut off. With it is DeMars. DeMars driving in, left hand, no good. Rebound cleared by Klecker. Klecker with the basketball. Here comes Sievers. Sievers with it, looking down low. Schoenhoven, loose basketball picked up by Van Holland, and Van Holland is tripped up on the play by DeMars. Hannah DeMars whistled for foul number 1. Dordt inbounding the basketball right side of the lane as we face the hoop. Thad Sankey up off of the bench, voicing his displeasure. Nielsen, back it goes, Sievers. Sievers left side to Van Holland. Van Holland right side, Nielsen. Nielsen over the basketball. Feel like someone's going to hit a 3 for the defenders, get things going. 10 seconds. Nielsen back to Schoenhoven, 5 to shoot for the defenders. Van Holland in traffic, loose basketball picked up by DeMars. DeMars driving in. DeMars with the left hand, count the hoop, and she is fouled. So a 2-point basket for DeMars. Well, DeMars, after just 6 points last night, she has showed up today. 15 so far for DeMars, trying to will her team through a tough stretch right now, and answering the Dordt run with a 3-point play, 52 to 49, taking advantage of the Euro step and getting that shot to go as she was fouled. Foul called. Not sure who that went on. Sievers, I guess. That's number 3 on her. Right side of the basketball, Macy Sievers now. Sievers tries to pass it off to Nielsen, and it's tipped out of bounds. So Dordt's got a couple of players, 2 reserves with 3 fouls each. 2:22 left to go in the third period. Dordt trailing 52 to 49. Nielsen, Klecker, and Sievers all checking out of the ball game. On the floor for the defenders, Van Holland, Hymanson, Gustafson, Schoenhoven, and Backman. For Jamestown, Tower is on the floor, along with DeMars, Busick, Martinson, and Rodakowski. They get it to Gustafson. Gustafson squares up against Martinson. Gustafson off the glass, count the hoop, and she is fouled. Gustafson finally getting to the free throw line. First time she's going to take a free throw. The defenders challenging time getting to the charity stripe today at home. 2 for 4 so far, while the Jimmies are 12 for 14. Gustafson in and out, no good. And the rebound tapped out of bounds by the defenders. It'll be Jamestown basketball, 52-51 our score. Dordt trailing by a point. Defenders have not taken the lead here in the second half. With the basketball out front, this is Busick. Busick high post, DeMars against Van Holland. DeMars backing it out, 15 to shoot. Now Tower gets a ball screen from Rodakowski. Top of the key three, missed, no good. Rebound Gustafson. Gustafson with the basketball, outlets to Hymanson. Hymanson with the basketball, up the floor. Left side, Gustafson right back to Hymanson. Hymanson on the right side directing traffic. They get it to Gustafson. Gustafson off of the glass, good. Carly Gustafson with a 2-point bucket. She's got 8 in the second half, 14 for the ball game. Dordt leads 53-52. DeMars trying all the tricks against Van Holland. Van Holland holds her ground. Here's Tower now. Tower fires it back to Rodakowski. Rodakowski fading away. No good. Rebound taken away by Gustafson. Gustafson gets it ahead to Hymanson. Van Holland squares up, 12-footer. Missed it. No good. Rebound tapped out by Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven taps it out. Dordt controls. Hymanson, 15 to shoot. Goes into Gustafson. Gustafson shot no good. Rebound battled for and finally controlled by Jamestown, and Dordt can't get a call in the paint. 53-52. Gustafson doing everything she can to try and get to the charity stripe. Just can't get enough, evidently not enough contact. Right side it goes Martinson. Martinson. Shot in the lane is off the mark, no good. That's an air ball by DeMars. DeMars, boy, they're leaning on her to do a lot. So Gustafson in the paint. She's battling and really doing almost everything she can to try and get there, but just can't get to the charity stripe. Dordt with the basketball. Less than a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Hymanson dribbling it out front. Dordt with the basketball on the 1-point lead. You want to get to the quarter break with the 1-point lead at minimum. 5s to shoot now. Gustafson, backdoor cut. Hymanson knocked to the floor, and they call the foul on Rodakowski. So Hymanson will go to the free throw line. Hayden Hymanson to shoot 2 as she was fouled in the act of shooting with 2.4 seconds remaining. Gustafson will check out of the ball game. Caparis will check in. And 2 free throws on the way for Hayden. Hayden 1 for 2 today. First free throw on the way for Hymanson is good. Hymanson has now shot 3 of Dordt's 6 free throws so far. This is a team that typically gets to the free throw line about 14 times per game. Hymanson makes them both, and the defenders with a 3-point lead, 55-52. Desperation heave is short, no good. And we've played 3. The Dordt defenders have reversed a 7-point deficit into a 3-point lead. They'll have the basketball when we resume play in the fourth quarter. Dordt with a 20-10 scoring advantage in the third period. Back with the fourth quarter of play right after this 1-minute timeout.
Hi, I am Bill Harmson, head women's basketball coach at Dordt University. Thank you for watching this Dordt Media Network broadcast produced by the students at Dordt. We appreciate your support. Go Defenders.
Taking a look around the conference, the Dordt defenders right now a 55-52 lead heading into the fourth quarter. Over in Sioux City, Briarcliff leads Doane 68-37 in women's play. I'm a little surprised at the disparity, but I'm also, this is what really gets my attention. Mac Hatcliffe, who's scoring like 30 points a game for the Tigers. In 30 minutes of action so far today, she is just 3 for 4 from the floor and has 9 points. Keep an eye on that. Always fun to watch, scoreboard watch in the league. Dordt basketball as we start the fourth quarter of play. With the basketball, Sievers. Sievers over to Beckman. Beckman with it out front. Dordt up 55-52. Bounce pass down low to Gustafson. 20 to shoot. Beckman 3. Short, no good. Follows her own shot. Head fake, puts it up. Shot no good, and she is fouled. Bailey Beckman follows her miss. She'll get to the free throw line. She will shoot 2. That foul called on Rodakowski. That's number 2 on her. The defenders right now on a 6-0 run, now 7-0 run, dating back to when they were down 52-49. A second free throw on the way for Beckman. Bailey's free throw up and good, 57-52. Beckman, not one of her better shooting days, but putting the ball on the floor, getting to the free throw line. Dordt trailing by 5, 57-52. And a charging foul called on Hannah DeMars. DeMars whistled for foul number 2, and Faith Van Holland. Van Holland got knocked pretty hard on that one. Faith has been given the unenviable task of trying to slow DeMars down. And Faith, I think, might have taken one right to the schnoz. A natural reaction, the eyes will water. And she's going to check out of the ball game. McKenna Klecker will check in as Faith Van Holland will collect herself. Drew the charging foul. That's the callous side of me coming out. Well, at least you got the charge call against him. Carly Gustafson able to seal her defensive player. She's got 16. Dordt leads 59-52, a 7-point lead. Dordt's led by as many as 10. That was back in the first half. Jamestown basketball, Martinson. Martinson looking for the pass down low. Martinson comes back out front, and what do we have? A timeout charge to the Jimmies. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in a minute. Jamestown with the basketball and a travel violation called on Hannah DeMars. Jamestown turns it over on their ensuing possession, and Thad Sankey up again, voicing his displeasure. Bill Harmson has done that as well today. Neither team exceptionally happy with the crew today. I guess some would say we're doing a pretty good job then. Gustafson back to Sconey. Sconey jumper in the lane, no good for Janey. And Janie Schoenhoven unable to knock it down. Dordt with a 7-point lead. DeMars with the basketball. Klecker guarding her. Scooping it up with the right hand, getting it to go, and Hannah DeMars will go to the free throw line for a 3-point play opportunity. She's got 18 points thus far pending the free throw, and that stops the run at 10 in a row for the defenders. Dordt extending the lead to 7. They're up by 5 now, 59-54, with a free throw on the way for DeMars. 8:27 left to play in the game. Gustafson will check out of the ball game. Nielsen will check in. So Dordt will go with a little smaller lineup here. Faith Van Holland also checking back into the game. 59-54 pending the free throw, and DeMars makes it. 59-55, the three-point play for DeMars. So DeMars has gotten to the free throw line 8 times. She's made 7 of them. Pass it down low, Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven against Rodakowski. Back to Beckman. Beckman with the basketball. Beckman back out front. Van Hollen steps inside the three-point circle. Shot no good, too strong. Rebound cleared by Jamestown. Here come the Jimmies and Tower. Tower with the basketball. Tower on the right wing with it. Tower gives it back over to Busick. Busick, they want it in the hands of DeMars. They get it to her. They're giving her the left-hand drive. She doesn't want it. Driving in, DeMars. Kick-out pass. Martinson. Martinson three, no good. Rebound Rodakowski. Rodakowski able to seal Schoenhoven. Back it goes DeMars. DeMars layup good. DeMars continues to move without the basketball. She gets in. She's got 21. And the Dordt lead now is 2, 59-57. 7:25 left to go in the game. Likely this one goes right down to the wire. Schoenhoven with the basketball. Schoenhoven to Hymanson. Hymanson back to Janey. Janey, 17-footer. Got it. Schoenhoven has worked pretty hard at adding that to her repertoire, and it has paid dividends. 61-57. 17-footer by Schoenhoven. Out front with it is Tower. Now you're looking for a defensive stop for the defenders. Tower driving in, and we've got a foul called before the shot. Foul called before the shot. That's going to go on Dordt's Hayden Hymanson. Foul number 1 on her. Schoenhoven will check out. Gustafson will check in. Dordt trying to keep people relatively fresh for the stretch. Underneath it goes. Tower now on the wing. Tower against Hymanson. And a blocking foul called on Bailey Beckman. Beckman caught too far underneath the basket. And Tower will go to the free throw line where she is 4 for 4. So Jamestown, deadly from the free throw line so far today, 87%. Now 14 of 16. 12 points for Tower, trying to cut it down to a 2-point ball game. Tower is 5 of 5 from the free throw line, now 6 of 6. 13 for Tower, her first though of the second half. 61-59 defenders. Left side Hymanson. Hymanson with it. Hymanson right side Nielsen. Nielsen with the basketball. Nielsen out front. Right side Ben Holland. Looking for Gustafson. Gets it to Gustafson against Rodakowski. Feeds it Hymanson. Left wing 10 to shoot. Goes to Gustafson. Gustafson underneath. Her shot spins in. Carly Gustafson with another 2. 63-59. Gustafson with 18. Out front, DeMars. DeMars against Van Holland again. And the shot missed, no good. Rebound taken away, and Van Holland holds her ground that time. The Dordt crowd wanted a travel violation. Here come the defenders with the basketball. Hymanson with it on the left wing. Hymanson drops it inside for Gustafson. They bring help. Lob pass over the top, Van Holland. Give it up to Beckman. Beckman looking for Gustafson. Instead, she'll pull up, puts up the 15-footer and missed it. Rebound cleared by Jamestown. They get it left side, DeMars. DeMars with it. DeMars with the left hand on the dribble. Now comes back to the right and throws it away. It'll be Dordt basketball. 5:41 left to go in the game. 3 fouls on the defenders so far in this period. 2 on the Jimmies. 3 timeouts for the defenders. 2 for the Jimmies. There's your game reset. Nobody has 4 fouls. Bunch of players have 3. For Jamestown, Tower has 3 fouls. For Dordt, Sievers, Klecker, Gustafson all with 3. 5:35 left to go in the game. Sievers with it out front. Macy setting the offense, 20 to shoot. Right side Gustafson. Gustafson at the free throw line. Looking for a cutter. Comes back to Sievers, 12 to shoot. Dordt trying to go for a closeout, and we've got a push called on the play against Jalen Martinson. Martinson whistled for her second, and team foul number 3. I beg your pardon, that's 3 on Martinson. 3 fouls on Martinson. Dordt now with 20 to shoot. Inbounding is Sievers. Dordt by 4. They get it into Gustafson. Fakes the handoff. Martinson holds her ground. They get it underneath Schoenhoven. Layup good. Jeannie Schoenhoven with 12, the assist to Dortz. And we've got a blocking foul called on Sievers against Tower. I thought Sievers played it pretty well. But they're going to call the foul on Macy Sievers. That is her fourth. Going to let it ride for right now. So Macy picks up her fourth and expect Jamestown to go right back at her. Pass comes in. Martinson with the basketball. Martinson goes left side. Tower, 15-footer, good. You knew that one was going in. Kaya Tower with 15. And the Dordt lead is 65-61. Less than 5 to go in regulation. With the basketball is Sievers. Sievers driving in against Tower. Picks up her dribble. Schoenhoven underneath on the back cut, good. Jeannie Schoenhoven with 14. Dordt leads 67-61. Jamestown basketball, DeMars. DeMars throws it down low for Rodakowski. Rodakowski, chicken wing move, but call a foul, and it'll be 2 shots for Rodakowski. So Rodakowski will go to the free throw line and will shoot 2 with 4:29 left to play. That foul is charged to Dordt's Faith Van Hollen. That's number 3 on her. First free throw is up and good. Jamestown has been kept in this game with their free throw shooting. They have now shot 18 free throws and have made 16. This is a team that converts 75% for the season, and they missed that one. Rebound cleared by Gustafson. So Rodakowski with 11. Dordt leads 67-62. Dordt has 3 timeouts remaining. That will come into play if you need to save a possession. With the basketball is Gustafson, cut off by Martinson. Schoenhoven, 15-footer, missed it, no good. Rebound cleared by Jamestown. Here come the Jimmies down by 5. This is Cordis. Cordis back out front. Pass left side, DeMars. DeMars with the basketball, driving, cut off. Now throws it back to Martinson. Tipped by Schoenhoven, but out of bounds. It'll be Jamestown basketball. Dordt leading 67-62, 3:50 left. Ooh, sweaty palms time. White knuckler here. Jamestown inbounding. DeMars. They throw in over the top. Rodakowski back to DeMars. Wanted to get going downhill. Cut off. Now she'll drive with the left hand. Ball's down on the floor. 5 to shoot. Martinson drives in. And a charging foul called on Jamestown. It'll be Dordt basketball. Dordt basketball. It's a charge. And it was outside the restricted area. And it'll be Dordt basketball leading by 5. So that is team foul number 4 against Jamestown. An offensive foul called on Martinson. That's her 4th. And Jamestown wants a timeout. Timeout on the floor, charge to Thad Sankey and the Jimmies. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Let's take a 1-minute break. Back with more after this. Jamestown with one timeout remaining. They call a timeout here, and they're going to bring pressure. And I remember last year this given Dordt a little bit of trouble against this team. And Jamestown will extend the pressure. This will be a 2-2-1. And Macy Sievers will bring the basketball up the floor. Sievers up the sideline, gets it to Gustafson. Dordt able to get the ball into the offensive end. 3:30 remaining in regulation. Dordt by 5. Sievers looking for Gustafson. 15 to shoot. Throws it down low for Gustafson. Out front, Beckman doesn't want to shoot. Comes back to Carly. Ball fake. Puts it up in traffic. Shot is no good, but the foul call from the wing. And Carly Gustafson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Carly 0 for 1 today. All of her points coming on 2-point field goals. Sievers will check out. Hymanson will check in, and that's because Sievers has 4 personals. So when you've got a chance to put someone else on defense, you do it. Dordt not helping themselves at the free throw line today. 6 of 10. First free throw, no good. Second one is good for Gustafson, and the defenders lead at 68-62. 3:10 and counting, ball game. Jamestown basketball, Tower. Tower working against Hymanson, gives it up left side, Cordes. Cordes 3, good. Kate Cordes with 10, and the defender lead is 68-65. Dordt gets it across the timeline after the pressure. Give it up, Gustafson. Gustafson with the basketball, 2:50 remaining. Neither team has a foul to give. Dordt will be shooting free throws, as will Jamestown the rest of the way. They'll be shooting free throws. Come back left side, Beckman. Beckman pull up, 15-footer, good. Bailey Beckman knocks down a 2. That was cold-blooded. Dordt leads 70-65. With it on the left-hand side, Tower. Tower, elbow jumper herself. That one's off the mark, no good. Rebound, Gustafson. Gustafson with the basketball. Hymanson will walk it into the front court. Dordt with the basketball. Dordt setting the offense. Dordt's depth has played a big part today. They've relied pretty heavily on some key reserve minutes. Gustafson crosses over. Hook shot in the lane. Can't get it to go. A rebound cleared by Jamestown. Here they come. 2-minute warning. Jamestown into the front court with the basketball. Cordes. Cordes back to DeMars. DeMars shot no good. Rebound deflected. Gustafson will not be denied. She tracks it down, and Dordt has the ball. 1:50 remaining. Hymanson takes it across the timeline. Dordt will use a timeout. 1:46 remaining in the contest. This will be a full-length timeout. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 60 seconds. (70-65). Dordt with a lead in the basketball, using their 4th timeout. They've got 2 remaining. Today's broadcast brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer. 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. You can visit them at wirelessworld.com. Glad to have you with me on this Saturday afternoon. The Dordt defenders leading by 5 after trailing by as many as 8 in the first half. Surrendered an 18-0 run, and they're trying to gut one out here on a day when they have not been their best. Beckman with the basketball, guarded there by Tower. Bailey gives it up to Gustafson, 10 to shoot, 1:30 remaining. Gustafson working her way in, puts it up, shot no good. Fight for the basketball, it's taken away by Tower. Tower with the basketball. Tower with it on the left-hand side. Tower looking for a ball screen. Tower, nothing there. Scoops it up, and they're going to give her a foul. They're going to give her the bucket and the foul. And Tower will go to the free throw line for a three-point play opportunity. That foul called on Faith Van Holland. Van Holland called for her fourth. So Tower will go to the free throw line with 1:16 remaining, trying to make it a two-point game, and she does. 70-68, Dordt by 2. We'll have to finish it out here. Got to make some plays to win it. Sievers up the floor. Sievers, and she is fouled on the play on the help defense. Who's it going to go on? They're going to charge that to Busick. So Jamestown doesn't allow Dordt to run any time off of the clock in effect, and Macy Sievers will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Bill Harmson, hopefully he didn't hurt his knee on that last play. He was very unhappy that Carly Gustafson wasn't shooting free throws. Macy Sievers misses the first free throw. Another one on the way. And Van Holland will probably, Klecker is going to check in. Sievers missed them both. That's a rarity. 70-68, Dordt down. Dordt up, I should say. 1 minute remaining. Jamestown with the basketball, down 2. They've got it out front, Busick. Busick to Tower. Tower short shot, no good. Rebound taken away by Van Holland. Gets it away to Sievers, under a minute to go. Dordt with the basketball. Gustafson. Gustafson to Sievers. Sievers across the timeline. And Sievers, they're going to say that it's a 10-second violation. It'll be Jamestown basketball with 41.8 seconds remaining. So Klecker will check into the ball game. Beckman will check out. It's a 2-point game, 70-68. Dordt had 2 timeouts left. I'm surprised they didn't use one there. Dordt now on the defense. They need a stop. Out front is Cordes. Cordes, they look for the lob. They get it to DeMars. DeMars against Schoenhoven. DeMars is bailed out on the play. Dordt trying to play defense, and a foul call. And DeMars will go to the free throw line to shoot 2, trying to tie it. 28.7 seconds remaining. Beckman is in. Klecker is out. And DeMars will shoot 2 more free throws. So DeMars with 2 on the way. DeMars already with 21 today. And the first one is up and through, 22. A second free throw as Jamestown will try to tie it here with 28.7 seconds remaining. Second free throw by DeMars is up and good. So Dordt's got it with the score tied at 70. And 28.7 seconds remaining. Jamestown has come back from a 6-point deficit at 68-62. They started the comeback with a 3-pointer from Kate Cordes. And Dordt continued to try and pound it down low and just haven't been able to get to the free throw line consistently. Jamestown taking advantage of their trips to the free throw line. They have converted 19 of 22 free throws now for 86%. Dordt moments ago missing another 2. Macy Sievers unable to knock them down. Dordt 7 of 13 from the free throw line for 53.8%. Dordt will be inbounding. The shot clock is off. Dordt can hold it to try and win it if they desire. My question is, how aggressively does Jamestown play the defense? This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. 70-70. Dordt can win it at the end of regulation, but you got to take care of the basketball, and then you got to get the shot to go. And that's been hard work today for the defenders. So far, Dordt 41% from the floor, Jamestown 46%. Rebounding, Dordt with a slight 38-37 rebounding edge. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. Today's broadcast brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. Visit them at wirelessworld.com. For Jamestown, it's Rodakowski, Tower, DeMars, Cordes, I believe, and who's the fifth? Busick. For the defenders, it is Sievers, Beckman, Gustafson, Van Holland, and Schoenhoven. Van Holland inbound the basketball. They get it into Beckman. 28 seconds on the game clock. They get it out front, Sievers. Jamestown will play it out. 22 seconds remaining. Sievers with possession. Dordt to go 4 flat the way it looks. Everybody lined up, free throw line extended. Sievers back to Beckman. Beckman with the basketball. Beckman, Gustafson. Gustafson with it. Shows it. 8 to shoot. Beckman. Gustafson off the glass, no good. There for the rebound, Van Holland, and Van Holland is fouled on the putback attempt. So Van Holland is fouled on the putback attempt, and Faith Van Holland a chance at redemption here. She's missed a couple of free throws so far today, and Faith will shoot 2. Now Jamestown will be able to inbound the ball at midcourt, because they've got a timeout left unless they elect to use it here, but I wouldn't. 2 free throws on the way for Faith. First one is up and splash. That one was dead center. How about another one just like it, Faith? 71-70. Dordt does not have fouls to give. It's foul number 5, point number 5 for Van Holland. This one's up and good as well, so Faith knocks them both down. She's got 6, and the Jimmies will have the basketball inbounding at midcourt with 2.5 seconds remaining. That's a little bit too much time on the clock for my liking. But Faith Van Holland positions Dordt to take a 2-point lead. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Well, it's been a while since we had one like this. They had one like this over in Seward. Concordia defeats Dakota Wesleyan 59-58 in a white knuckler. It was anything but a white knuckler in Sioux City. Briarcliff a winner over Doane, 80-57 the final score in women's play. So I will mark that one down. 80-57. Briarcliff stands 8-2 in the league. Doane slides to 4-6. They're a dangerous team, though, just mainly because Hatcliffe can go off at any time. What else do we have? Morningside and Midland. Well, Northwestern beat Hastings today, 58-53. Jamestown will be inbounding. They're out of timeouts, and Dordt will use their final timeout. Timeout on the floor, charged to the defenders. 72-70 our score. Everything stays the same. I don't know what more I can tell you. Both teams are in the bonus. Oh, if that comes down to free throws, that'll be tough to watch. Still looking for Morningside and Midland. This one's stretching out just a little bit. Most of the other games done now, as this one it's turned into a little bit of a longer battle than anticipated. It was Morningside over Midland, 73-51. No report on Mount Marty and the College of St. Mary. And I told you Concordia beat Dakota Wesleyan 59-58. So Jamestown inbounding in front of their bench. Doing the honors will be Tower. Look for her to get the ball back. So often the inbounder will get the pass back. Tower looking. Tower still looking. Finds DeMars. DeMars free throw line jumper. Short, no good, and Dordt pulls it out. Dordt with a 72-70 win in Great Plains Athletic Conference action. One final defensive stand by the defenders. Jamestown got the ball to DeMars. DeMars, a free throw line jumper that was off the mark and just short, and the defender winning streak remains intact, and they've got a 2-game lead heading into their final game of the first time around the double round robin conference schedule. But the defenders unblemished through 16-0 overall, 10-0 in the conference. Jamestown puts up a battle, hit some clutch free throws, and every time Dordt made a run, Jamestown, it seemed, had an answer. But the Dordt defenders a little bit too much tonight, and Faith Van Hollen, the hero, knocking down a couple of free throws. And that's your final. Dordt 72, Jamestown 70. Let's take a 2-minute break and be back with a recap of today's women's college basketball game right after this 2-minute timeout. Well, it's been a while since we had one of these on the women's side, a real gut churner, but the Dordt defenders come away with the win, 72-70. And this one did not come without its dramatics, as the defenders surrendered an 18-0 run in the first half. They went from up 30-20 to down 38-30, and they were down 7 at halftime, 42-35. They were able to pull even 49-49 and led 55-52 at the end of the third quarter. Then the real fun began. Dordt never relinquished the lead, but Jamestown did get back to within 2 at 61-59, and they eventually tied it with under 30 seconds to go on a pair of free throws by Hannah DeMars, and that was a recurring theme throughout the course of this ball game. That was Jamestown getting to the free throw line, but the Dordt defenders worked the ball down, eventually got a shot from, I believe it was Carly Gustafson that missed, but Faith Van Hollen was there to pick up the offensive rebound, got fouled on the putback attempt, and with 2.5 seconds remaining, Van Hollen with ice water in her veins knocks them both down. Jamestown went for the tie after a couple of timeouts. A free throw line jumper by DeMars was off the mark, and the Dordt defenders escape with a 72-70 win. We've got some team totals to go through. We've also got the highlights to go through, so why don't we go through those highlights as we talk about some of the stat notices. Bailey Beckman Tough night shooting for her, but she ended up with 16 points, got to the free throw line a little bit. Audrey Rodakowski ended up being a tough matchup for the defender. She scored 11 for the Jimmies. Turning point might have been that McKenna Klecker three-point basket, and then there was a foul called away from the ball with a shot in the air. Dordt got a 2. And the Dordt defenders able to hold on. The shot missed by Hannah DeMars as the clock expired. That would have tied it, and the defenders survived 72-70. DeMars had a game high 23 points, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Here are some highlights for you, some stats, and I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Jamestown 24 of 53 shooting, 45%, 3 of 11 on threes, 27%, 19 for 22 on free throws, 86%. For the defenders, 29 of 72 from the floor, 40%, 5 for 20 on threes, 25%, 9 for 15 on free throws, 60%. Dordt a 39-37 rebounding edge. Turnovers, Jamestown committed 15. Dordt had just 6, so Dordt did take care of the basketball. Also had 14 rebounds, did the defenders, and that helped them overcome a subpar shooting evening as they survived for the 72-70 win. Individually, Hannah DeMars led all players with 23 points. She also had 11 rebounds. She is a fine, fine player for the Jamestown Jimmies. Kia Tower ends up with 18 points. She had 5 rebounds and 2 assists. 11 points for Audrey Rodakowski to go with 3 rebounds. 4 for Jalen Martinson, and Kate Busick, it's not really her role to score much. She's averaging 5 points per game. She was held scoreless. She only took 1 shot. Player that came in and gave them a little bit of a jolt was Katie Cordes. Cordes, a couple of threes and 2 twos for the Jimmies. She ends up with 10 points. And also off the bench, Megan Oswald and Hannah Hoggle had 2 points apiece. Didn't see much of them in the second half. For the Dordt defenders, Carly Gustafson with 19 points. Bailey Backman with 16. 14 for Janie Schoenhoven. 7 of 13 from the floor was Schoenhoven. Gustafson 9 for 20. And Bailey Backman 6 of 18. And I said, those players, Schoenhoven and Gustafson, usually well over 50% from the floor. And Schoenhoven also over 50%, but she was at, and I should say, Backman normally in the mid-40s, but today a rough shooting day. Faith Van Holland has 6 points, but she comes back with 2 made free throws. Hayden Hymanson, 3 for 4 from the free throw line. She ends up with 6 points. Off of the bench, McKenna Klecker with a couple of big threes. She had 6, and Macy Sievers had 5 in the contest. Sievers also with 6 assists and 4 rebounds. Gustafson, the double-double. She had 10 rebounds. Janie Schoenhoven, 6 rebounds, 4 of them on the offensive end. Gustafson also had 3 assists and 2 steals. The Dordt defenders are now 16-0, 10-0 in the conference. Jamestown slides to 12-4 and 7-3. They go 0-2 on their trip to Sioux County, losing to Northwestern last night and losing to the Dordt defenders here this afternoon. No sign of the coach or the players yet. Let's take another 2-minute break. We'll be back with a rundown of what else happened in the GPAC today right after this 2-minute timeout.
Here we live between big city and small town, but we don't do anything halfway. We play in a community that's safe for families while providing our kids big city opportunities. We work in a place proud of its rural history that's already writing its future in science and technology. This is a place where we love our neighbors, and where a small town is more like a big family. Sioux Center. Live life in the middle of everything.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
American State Bank is celebrating our 50th anniversary, and we couldn't have made it this far without your support. For us, banking just scratches the surface. We pride ourselves in our commitment to our communities, building meaningful relationships with our customers, and doing our best to have some fun along the way. We're proud to be a locally owned and operated bank, supporting the communities we serve. Thank you for choosing American State Bank. We can't wait to see what the next 50 years have in store.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gym, where the Dordt defenders have held off the Jamestown Jimmies 72-70. We'll be getting to Coach Bill Harmson in just a little bit. Briarcliff will win a road today over Doane 80-57. Concordia down Dakota Wesleyan 59-58. That was played in Seward. Morningside over Midland 73-51. Northwestern a 58-53 winner over Hastings. And Mount Marty down the College of St. Mary 69-58. Conference standings then as the dust clears this afternoon. Dordt 10-0 in the conference. Briarcliff 8-2. Northwestern 7-2. Jamestown 7-3. Concordia 7-4. Now we've got some separation. Morningside is 5-5. Dakota Wesleyan's 4-5. They've got a game on the back end of January that they've got to make up with Northwestern yet. Hastings and Doane are both 4-6. Separation again. Mount Marty 2-9. College of St. Mary 1-9. Midland 1-9. So the Dordt defenders with a 72-70 win. And joining me will be Bailey Beckman, and we will make sure that she can hear me all right. Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Hey, thumbs up on a win, too.
Yes, yes.
72-70 did not come without its tense moments, Bailey. That last possession, Jamestown had it out of bounds. You call a timeout. What are you trying to take away from Jamestown in that situation?
We didn't want any shots outside the three-point line and just trying to contain the drive, make them shoot a contested jumper, and that's exactly what they did.
Offense got a little hard to come by in the first half, and then the second half, things started to break loose a little bit. You, it seemed, were a little more intent on getting into the lane, maybe trying to get to the free throw line. Was that a concerted effort by you in the second half?
For sure. I mean, when shots don't fall, you got to figure something else out to help your team.
You are able to survive and get the win. What does this team understand? I mean, you're 16-0, and it just seems like it's easy. Do you guys understand how challenging this really is?
Honestly, I think we just take it game by game, and we try not to just let the undefeated, we really don't talk about it. We really just focus on the next game, and that's what's been pushing us through. And
the next game is Doane on Wednesday, and if I remember correctly, down there last year, that was a pretty good, tight contest, if I remember right. They have a pretty good player, a sophomore, I believe, Mac Hatcliffe. That's going to be the focus going in, I would imagine, trying to slow her down.
Yep, for sure.
How's school going? You're done with semester number 7. You've got number 8 coming up. How's school going?
Well, this next semester will be pretty easy for me. I only have 4 classes, so that's pretty nice.
Well, are you looking for something to do?
Not right now. I really enjoy break right now. We just wake up, play basketball, and that's about it.
Well, and I asked Bryce Kopic that last night. I said, what do you guys do to fill your time? He told me what the guys do, and you know that it's probably video games and watching sports and stuff like that. What does the women's team do to fill their time?
I mean, we play a lot of games with each other, and then we end up just like watching movies and TV shows together. So, I mean, we're hanging out a lot.
Okay. Well, enjoy this win. Congratulations, and let's see if we can go get another one on Wednesday night.
Thank you.
That's Bailey Beckman talking about today's contest, and Bailey, a key part of Dordt's win here this afternoon, as the Dordt defenders hang on for a 72-70 win. And yes, back at the Dordt Media Network truck, we will get this completed, and we want to get Coach Bill Harmson's thoughts. And I don't know, Coach, that I have seen a team give up an 18-0 run in the first half and then come back and win. Normally that is a sign of really bad things happening. Your team was able to recover, and I'm not going to say there were good things happening or anything like that, but you needed to regroup at halftime.
Well, I know I'm going to have to answer to one of my mentor coaches about disqualifying two of my own players sitting on the bench. Mike, you and I have had that conversation before, and
you've convinced me.
I did.
You have convinced me, and today you went against that.
I know, and so we're flirting with that. 10-point, 8-point, 6-point. Clock is going down, and then all of a sudden things turn, and they've already been on the bench for 2.5 minutes. We had 2:13 left, and I looked at them. I went, God, I've already disqualified him for so long. Now we're just going to ride it out. And fortunately, the kids that we had in the game, got their spine up, and we were able to keep the game to 7 at half. And I know I have some explaining to do with my whole foul philosophy, but yeah.
But, okay, I'm going to help you out just a little bit here, because the way that game was going and the fouls that were being called, and I'm not going to say they weren't fouls. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
What I am going to say, with the way the game was being officiated at that point,
it was scary.
Those two players very likely pick up their third.
Yeah, it was scary. And Faith Van Hollen, she's got a black eye. She got an elbow in the gut. That kid was through the ringer today, guarding one of the best players in their league with DeMars, and so she was in a battle. And then, to have Carly pick up 3 with under 2 minutes to go in the half, I would have had a real problem with that myself. And so we had to ride it out. And I'm really proud of Ellie coming in, McKenna, Macy, our bench personnel coming in, and then Janie having to play extended minutes in that first half just to weather the storm. And then I can't remember if we got the lead at the end of the third or if it was tie.
You were up.
To be able to battle back like that in the third quarter just showed a lot of resiliency and character on behalf of our team.
I found it interesting last night. You weren't up here, but I asked Faith Van Holland, I said, hey, you score 17 on Monday, you get 11 again last night. I said, does that give you confidence? And she said, I don't like the higher expectations. Now she comes back today, and as you said, she had to work so hard on defense. And it's ironic to me that she ends up under the basket with the basketball, gets fouled, and those were the two best-looking free throws that Dordt had all afternoon.
Yeah, well, there wasn't a single person on our bench that didn't know she was going to make both of them. We knew, when she got fouled, I was so confident in her stepping up and be able to hit those free throws. But that's Faith, Mike. She's so humble, and she's one of those kids where she just continues to get better all the time. And she's such a confident kid right now. I'm just so proud of her. She was a kid that didn't get to play as a freshman, and last year she really turned the coaches' heads. We're like, holy cow, this kid's really playing well. And this year she came back in awesome shape, and man, she's just fantastic. Great team kid.
They're screaming at me back in the truck. I can hear them. We're going to call it good. We'll see you Wednesday night in Crete.
Thank you, Mike.
That's Coach Bill Harmson. And we're going to take a 2-minute break. Be back with the men's contest right after this 2-minute